So everyone can hear me, that's fine. So it's so great to see you all this morning. And this is a class, that the last number of years I've taught a class at the weekend around the sun solstice, the solstice. And I suppose I was reading a little bit more about it. And I didn't want it to get all heavy about the symbolism and all of that. And that really it's just us connecting and having a class. And in yoga, the biggest cause of dis-ease in us is lack of connection. And so that lack of connection with our own self, with our own luminosity, our lack of connection with nature and realizing that we are a part of nature, and that lack of connection with each other. And so I suppose this class, I wanted that perhaps our attention would be that connecting. So connecting with ourselves, our true deeper self, having that connection with what's happening in nature and tuning into that, having a sense of being part of that cycle that happens and that's happening all the time, and that sometimes we're not so tuned into, and so sensing that cycle. And then also that connecting with each other. We all have this human condition. And so we sense and feel that connection with each other, that we're not separate. And so we're going to start a lovely posture for grounding. So place your hands underneath your armpits and then press your arms down. So the palms of your hands are pressing underneath your armpits, your thumbs are up, and close your eyes. So this is very grounding for the nervous system. It's a great posture to know about it actually anytime if you need to ground and calm. And here I'd ask you to begin to tune in to your breath. And in particular, tune in to the sensation of the breath going in and out at the nostrils. Hi guys, anyone who's just arrived, you're very welcome. And so place your hands underneath your arms, the thumbs are up, push the arms down onto the palms. So palms are pressing on against your body. And tune in with long, deep breaths. So the class today, we're going to start with a number of breathing techniques. Then we do some dynamic movement, really focusing on moving the energy in the spine. And then we'll come back to more breathing techniques at the end, focusing on building our inner luminosity. So many of you have been working with breath for this last 40 days or so. And so here, just getting very present, following all of the inhale, all of the exhale, your attention at the entrance to the nostrils. That sense of getting connected internally, our mind and our body. And throughout the class, let's really just aim to be very present. Each time our mind wanders, just bring it back to exactly what we're doing. So that we stay connected. We don't tune out head off into thinking, but rather be right here. Really nice. Just take a moment here, just notice the effect of a few minutes of tuning in. So we're going to do a bunch of breath of fire today, right? So really fire up the energy, the Agni, the fire within, and lift that in the luminosity. So the first one we're going to do, interlace your hands and your thumbs are up. So I'll do a little brief introduction to breath of fire. As far as I know, most of you are familiar with it. So we'll just do a brief introduction. Put your hand on your belly. And then as you exhale through your mouth, I want you to draw the belly in. So and now close your mouth, exhale through your nose. Same action. As you exhale, the belly draws in and the power is in the exhale. Inhale, exhale are equal. Inhale, also important, but the power of the breath is in the exhale. So the inhale is a little bit more passive. Go at your own pace, right? So don't go fast until you've got the hang of it. So interlace your fingers here at your navel point. Thumbs are up, eyes are closed, and breath of fire. So your inhale is passive. As you exhale, you draw the belly in and the breath is pushed out through the nostrils. If you're on the first few days of your menstrual cycle, then long, deep breaths. And see here, can you focus both at the navel and at the base of the nostrils? And go at your own speed. Don't worry how fast I'm going. You might be going a little bit slower. Important that you just get your rhythm right. Exhale, drawing the belly in, and then a passive inhale, the belly relaxes. So take a deep inhale here. Pause, hold the breath. Squeeze up through your pelvic floor. So all the muscles from the pubic bone to the navel. Hold. Exhale, release. Oh, it's getting brighter outside. Just rest your palms down for a moment and tune in. So we really are like we're in sync with nature. As the sun rises, simultaneously we're working on our inner luminosity. Tune in. So we'll do two more breath techniques here before we get to moving. Okay, so it's called Prana Shakti, and just moves the energy. activates. So we inhale, reach the arms up, fingers separate. And as you exhale, make a fist and draw the elbows in towards the ribs, and they kind of punch against the side of the ribs. It's not punch, but draw in firmly. And so inhale, reach up, exhale, draw in. That's it. Inhale, reach. Hold the breath. Squeeze up through the pelvic floor. Squeeze, hold. Exhale, release. And just sit palms up. Tune in. Feeling that, connecting with our inner self. Connecting with nature. Connecting with each other. Stay really present. Okay, let's do one more here. So it's called Surya Mudra. It's a sun mudra. Everything about the sun this morning. And so it's your ring finger and your thumb, and the other fingers are straight up. Okay? And so ring finger and thumb together. Other fingers up, and the hands are here at your sides. Eyes are closed. We're going to sniff in for 4 and then sniff out for 4. And so off we go. Little pause at the top and at the bottom. Stay very present. Be with what you're doing. Our intentionality is key. Focus on being fully present. Eye gaze towards the center of the forehead. And now take a deep inhale. Pause, hold the breath, squeeze up to the pelvic floor. Be very still. Exhale, release the hands down, palms facing up. And just take a moment. It is incredible to do breathing techniques, the pranayamas, and really realize how much the breath is the best friend of the mind. It's only by doing them that we realize how powerful they are. Let's come around, let's do some movement. We'll come back to more breathing techniques at the end of the class. So hands beneath your shoulders, knees beneath your hips. Inhale, arch, exhale, round. And we're going to go a little bit of pace, right? It's a morning practice. So energizing, activating, cultivating that light within. Of course, any tenderness or injury, you go slower, you find the pace throughout the practice. You find the pace that works for you. You skip anything that doesn't suit you. Inhale, deep breath, arch, lift the chest. And then exhale, tuck your toes and push back into down dog. And breathe here. Press into the first finger and thumb knuckle. The eye of the elbow turning towards the front of the mat. Release the neck. Pressing your heels into the floor. One more smooth breath here. And now step your right foot forward, left knee down, or left knee down first. And let's start with our hands on the floor and just sinking down into the groin. Really nice. Hand to your knee. And then let's reach up, hook your thumbs. Upper arm bones draw back, sinking down. That's it. Really nice. Both hands down, back to all fours. Couple of cat cows again. Inhale, arch. Exhale, down dog. Full deep inhale. And a long exhale. Right knee down, left foot forward between your hands. Start with your hands on the floor, sink. Feel that lovely stretch in the legs and the hips. And then hand to your knee. And then reach up, hook your thumbs, opposite thumb in front. Hold and breathe. Building our own inner fire, our own inner luminosity as the sun rises. And now hands down, again back to all fours, cat and cow. Inhale, arch. And exhale, tuck your toes and push back into down dog. Full inhale. A long exhale. Left knee down, right foot forward again. Hands onto your right knee. And now bend your left foot and reach back for that left foot. Really nice. So a deep stretch into that front of the left thigh. And remember, it can be further back. If it doesn't suit you to hold it, then don't hold it. That's it. Great. Release. Back to all fours, cat-cow. Inhale, arch. Exhale, down dog. Full inhale here. And a long exhale. And so, right knee down, left foot forward between your hands. And we'll go to the other side. So start deep stretch and then reach back. And so loads of options always, right? You can pop something under your knee or just stay in a low lunge if it doesn't feel right for you to reach back. And you can just kind of reach back a little bit, or you can draw the foot in towards the sit bones, right? Whichever works. Hold and breathe. Really nice. And carefully release. Both hands down, cat-cow. Inhale, arch, exhale, round. Inhale, arch. Exhale, tuck your toes and pressing back. And inhale forward into plank. And then from here, slowly, slowly make your way to the floor. So you can pop your knees down or come all the way down. So firm your legs, tops of your feet press against the floor, and float your hands and lift up and breathe. So a cobra, but without your hands on the floor. And feel the tops of your feet pressing into the floor. The knees are lifted. Inner thighs towards the ceiling. Pubic bone presses down. So working the spinal muscles here. And exhale, release down. Really nice. So now lift the legs off the floor. So they're going straight up. Again, inner thighs towards the ceiling. And now reach the arms forward. Inhale here. Keep the legs lifted. As you exhale, the arms come back, bending the elbows like cactus. Let's do a few more. Inhale, reach. Exhale, drawing back. Pubic bone down. Lifting the legs. 3 more. Lift the chest. And last one, inhale, reach. Lift arms and legs. Exhale, release down. Waggle your hips. And then up, up into cat-cow again. All fours and arch and flex. And then inhale, arch. And exhale back into down dog. And breathe here. Really nice. Okay, so let's come around to sitting. Those of you familiar with my class know this next one is called stretch pose. So loads of modifications, right? We're going to go for 2.5 minutes. No, not 2.5 minutes, a minute and a half. And it's a breath of fire. So again, if it's the first few days of your menstrual cycle, then it's a long, deep breath. So we come down low. So one hand can be behind your head throughout the whole time. You can alternate one leg at a time. Okay, I'm going to get the timer so that we definitely. Where is my? There it is. Okay, great. So just go as far as is comfortable for you and as long as is comfortable for you. So breath of fire, exhaling, navel draws in. So very powerful pose, right? So very challenging, but really ignites the fire, right? Really stimulates the energy here at the navel center. And we know for transformation, we need to put in the effort sometimes. So go for it, right? 1 minute left. And one hand behind your head can be nice, a little bit of support for the neck. And again, one leg can be down, taking turns. Doing great, you're halfway. Building your inner fire, your inner luminosity. 20 seconds. Shaking is normal. Last 5. Take a deep inhale. Pause, hold, squeeze. So squeeze pelvic floor, hold. Exhale. Completely relax. Palms up, legs open. And tune in. Notice the effects. Deep breaths. Breath right down into your belly. Completely relax. Really nice. Just one more deep breath here. Really nice. And let's come round onto our belly. Okay, so we're going to come into bow pose and we're going to do it with breath of fire. Okay, so I'm just going to go for 1 minute. So if it suits you better just to reach your arms back and lift up, that's perfect. If it suits you in your body to hold on to your ankles and lift up, that's also great. Okay, and going in for a minute, so it doesn't have to be your deepest bow pose. I'll set the timer. So breath of fire here, and you really, it's challenging doing breath of fire in this pose. Just do your best. Take a deep inhale, lift up. Squeeze pelvic floor, hold. hold, exhale. Release down, make a little cushion with your hands. And breathe deep. Breathe into your lower back ribs, the kidney area. Really nice. And when you're ready, come back up. Again, let's go for our cat-cows. And now come sitting on your knees. And we'll do another breath of fire just for 1 minute here. So hands resting on your knees, eyes closed, breath of fire. And often what would happen for me anyway was I wasn't inhaling enough. And so I'd get short of breath. If that happens to you, it's very common. Just stop, take a couple of breaths, and then come back in again. Deep inhale. Pause, hold, squeeze. Exhale, release. Just sit for a moment. Do a few spinal flexes here. Inhale, arch, exhale, round. So notice the feeling in your body, right? Igniting all this fire and then moving the spine. Okay, great. So we're going to come into camel pose, okay? And so loads of variations in camel pose. We start with our knees about hip distance apart and the hips are above the knees. And the hips are going to stay above the knees. So we don't lean back here. It's a heart opener. So we lift in the chest, okay? And so hands onto your lower back and start lifting in the chest. If it suits you, tuck your feet under and you might place your hands onto your heels. But for a lot of people, that's very strong. And so maybe keep your hands on your lower back, lift the chest, and long, deep breaths here. And keep drawing pubic bone towards the navel, right? So tailbone draws under, hips are forward, chest is lifted. And again, hands on your lower back or on your heels, whichever works. Some people quite like to release their head back, and others, like me, prefer their chin down. So whichever works for you. Let's just do 2 more breaths here. Take a deep inhale. And then as you exhale, slowly, slowly coming out. And come sitting on your heels. Just let the energy settle. Tune in. There's always such a residue, an echo after a deep back bend. It creates quite a shift. Let's do a few more spinal flexes. Inhale, arch, exhale, round. Really nice. Okay, so now let's come seated with our legs forward. We're going to take a forward fold, which is a really nice counter pose after the back bend. And so seated, sometimes it's nice to pull the outside of the thighs out and then start to fold forward. And what we want to think of here is that we're not rounding, okay? So it's not trying to get our chest onto our thighs, but rather think of sternum towards the toes. So we keep this length in the spine. In particular, it's protecting the lower back. Hands, whatever suits, right? So it could be on the floor, on your ankles, maybe hook onto your toes, whatever works. Eyes are closed and your eye gaze towards the center of the forehead. Long, deep breaths. Again, focusing on your presence, so being fully present. This is how we connect to our own selves. This is how we create the connection between all the disparate parts of ourselves. We bring ourselves into union, body, mind, spirit. And it is so refreshing how quickly we can do it, right? And it is always available to us. We tune into the breath and we tune in beneath the surface mind. Okay, so we just have a couple more poses to do. We're going to come into plow pose. And so any variation that works, right? So the idea is the legs overhead. And you can hold on to your hand, the back, and the knees can be bent. And so another variation could be just drawing the knees up like so. Okay, so whichever version works for you, you just see what works. And so this is such a beautiful pose, stimulates the thyroid, but it's always great when we get our legs up above us. It's great for the energy, great for a change of perspective. And breathe here. Just a couple more breaths here. Really nice. And then arms down and slowly coming all the way down. And release the legs long. And just take a moment here. Tune in. Really nice. I'm going to take a nice counter pose. So we come into fish pose. So your forearms are down. Then you lift the chest and the crown of your head comes towards the floor. So as the chest is lifting, so this lovely arch in the back. And then very carefully push into the arms, release the head, and lie back down. And just tune in. Connection with yourself, that deeper sense of self. Connection with nature. These cycles of nature affect us, and we just need to be cognizant of it. Respect it, tune into it. Seasons, all the different cycles. And connection with each other, that we are not separate. Just relax again a little bit more here. Very nice. And so we're going to come up, hug your knees into your chest first, and just a little rocking just to massage the lower back. Great. And so let's come back to more breathing techniques where we started. And so come into a comfortable seated position. So let me see, I'm going to need to have a bit of room behind you for your arms, right? And so this is a very powerful practice for your heart. And so if you've been feeling like maybe stuck here or a lot of emotions, this is a great one to do. So we're going to inhale the arms out and then exhale the arms forward until they nearly touch. Inhale nose and exhale mouth. Okay, we're going to go for 3 minutes. I'll set the timer and we go at a bit of pace. And it's okay if your arms come down a little bit as we go. Okay, that's fine. That happens. And so inhale, exhale. Inhale nose, exhale mouth. Inhale open, exhale close. The hands don't touch though. You've got this. last minute. Let's really go for it. Speed it up a little bit if you can. Stimulating all the nerve ganglia around the heart and the throat. Are there? Inhale, arms out. Pause, hold, squeeze. Exhale, slowly release down. Sit very still. Tune in. Awareness at your heart center. Sense your inner luminosity. Stay very still, very present. Okay. So this next one, you're going to interlace your hands and have them above your head like magnets. And we're going to sniff in 6 bits, 6 strokes. As you're sniffing, feel the energy going up. Your awareness, your attention goes up from the base right up to the crown. And so sniffing in 6 sniffs. And then a long exhale out. Completely relax as you exhale. And then 6 sniffs in, drawing your attention up along the spine as you sniff in. And then a long exhale. And go at your own pace. Stay very focused, bringing your awareness up along the spine as you sniff in, and then completely relax as you exhale. Take 6 sniffs in. Pause, hold the breath, squeeze pelvic floor. Exhale, slowly release. Place your hands on your thighs or in your lap and be very still. And so bring your attention back to where we started, with your awareness at the tip of your nostrils, and sense the breath coming in through your nostrils right up to the center of your brain. And then as you exhale, it goes from the center of your brain out through your nostrils. And follow your breath. Stay very focused. Breath coming in through the nostrils, right to the center of the brain. And then breath coming out from the center of the brain to the tips of the nostrils. And keep bringing your attention back. Your mind starts to wander. It's okay. Just come right back. Follow that breath from the tip of the nostrils right into the center of your brain. And from the center of the brain out to the tips of the nostrils. Stay very present. And now let go of that focus and just sit here and sense your inner light. Have this sense of merging with your inner light, the light within you, the light all around you. Sense your connection with all of nature, this movement of the planet, the alignment, the stars. And sense how we're not all separate. Our hearts are all connected. Greatest cause of dis-ease is that sense of thinking that we are separate, that we are alone. So here, just for these last few breaths, feel all these hearts together here in this class, sending love to each other from your inner light radiating out and sending love to all those in the house around you. And then all of your neighbors. And like this huge spider web, love to all of those. Thanks so much, guys. Thanks for joining me this morning. I'm going to put it onto gallery view for a moment, and we just all say